Oh my boy, what's up, man? Listen, I just want to say one quick thing.
It's my show. Can
This
I
is
introduce the show?
absolutely, but dude, I feel so. It's just so nice to like talk to someone on the virtual reality. This is amazing.
I know.
This is what's keeping me sane.
I
All right,
love
go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Do the introduction. Go ahead,
Ladies
man.
and gentlemen, welcome to The Brutal Truth. This is episode number 3, and I'd love to welcome a really good friend of mine named Johnny Mitsos. John Mitsos. He is in the epicenter of the outbreak. He is in New York City right now. It is March 27th at 8:10 p.m. Central Time, and he is quarantining like the rest of us. And I want to say welcome, John. How you doing?
Good, good. How you doing, man? Yo, thanks for the video. It feels like I'm outside right now.
It's
That's why I
fun,
love
right?
doing the. Yeah, well, not. I wouldn't say it's fun. All right, that's an exaggeration of the word. But I definitely feel good. Like I can talk to someone and just
Yeah.
have like a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're not there. I mean, I see Saturn behind you. And that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Lots of rings. Earth is over there. Good, beautiful. Yeah, here
Jo-
the little Carl
Listen, you're
Sagan
my
kind of
first.
looking like.
You're my second guest on my podcast that I've ever had, and I'm glad it's you because you have a great sense of humor. We're gonna have a really good time. But what do you feel? Let's just get this over with. I don't want to keep the whole thing about the virus, but how does it feel right now? Like being quarantined. You got a 1 bedroom, right? You said,
Yeah, yeah, I got a 1 bedroom right now.
and you're in Manhattan. What area are you in?
It. I'm on the Upper East Side, so I'm
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like close to. Actually, I'm actually very close to where the Gracie Mansion is, where like Mayor De Blasio lives. So I'm
Okay.
like kind of like a block down from him.
Okay.
So yeah, granted, we're in the epicenter right now of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's tough. It is what it is, but we're getting through. You kind of have to like these things are kind of like what's getting me like through each day. You know,
Yeah.
the best scenario is, or the best advice is just really stay home as much as possible right now.
Right. So your
So,
area when it's not under quarantine is bustling, right? There's people walking everywhere constantly. I mean, what is your area like? I mean, like little shops and everything.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole New York City charm.
Right.
That's why you live here. You don't need a car. You can
Right.
kind of walk everywhere. I mean, the best part of having or living here is just like it's a good environment. You can kind of like walk outside. It's safe. It doesn't matter what time. You can walk to the restaurant. You can walk to a bar. You can take a subway and you're downtown very
Yeah.
quickly. So it's very convenient in any location, you know. So wherever you want to go, because Manhattan's very, very small.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, so the whole idea of not being around people right now is just kind of like contradicts the whole charm of New York City, which
Yeah.
is kind of yeah,
It's weird. It's
it's not
strange,
it.
right?
Well, it's strange because I mean, the first couple of days you're like, I want to be, I have to be inside, but I don't want to be inside.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I get outside?
Right.
But yeah, it's a very, very strange feel. Yeah, correct. Very
And
strange.
when you go out, you're careful when you go out. I mean, literally, I think today they had something like 5,500 new cases, I think, since yesterday or something like that. Something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I think the total right now
Chicago,
where
Chicago
yeah,
had like 488, okay? And you guys had, I should say Illinois had 488 since yesterday. You guys had 5833, almost 6,000. That's
yeah, I
crazy.
know.
And
Yeah, it is.
those videos of the doctors working at the hospital that I sent you yesterday, you watched those, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was very frightening. And that's going to be soon. That actually is the reality right now. There's just not enough staff to help out. If this thing spikes, which it will spike sooner or later,
Right.
it's gonna be kind of yeah. People just are not gonna make it. I mean, I don't know. There's no other word for it, but that's the frightening part.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my part and be like, all right, I'm gonna stay indoors.
Yeah.
Just like I mean, and I understand the situation. You could be infected or not. It's hidden or whatever it is,
Yeah,
but you
that's what's
just have
fucked
to.
up.
Yeah,
That's the
everyone
scary
has to take the
part.
part.
The scary part is that you can have it and then spread. The scary part is that you could have it and spread it before you know it. I
Yeah,
was listening
yeah,
to something
and
with Bill Gates
that's why you
yesterday,
remain
and
indoors.
yeah, and Bill Gates was saying Ebola, by the time you were contagious, you were already really, really sick. That was the only time you were contagious. You know what I mean? So you were already flat on your back with Ebola, and then you were contagious at that point. This one, you're contagious, and you can be walking around and doing stuff for a couple of days. Anyway, it's kind of crazy. But
Yeah, it is.
you had a bottle of wine to warm up for the interview?
No, actually, I didn't. But the thing is,
Oh,
because everyone's kind of like in quarantine here, like people are calling me up. So like I'm having conversations with people like, all right, let's have a drink or hang out. Obviously, this is all very virtual.
right.
So no one's kind of coming.
You're
Clearly,
not
no one's coming
you're
over.
not having anybody over this weekend, right?
No, no, no. That's not like a possibility, and
Wow.
it's just not. You just don't do it. You
Yeah.
have to go by the rules.
Yeah, I know.
And
Because it's just going to be a month. It's not going to be that long a time. We just got to get through it. That's the
well,
crazy part.
the timeline is it's a little crazy because
Yeah.
you don't really know. I mean, the timeline, if everyone cooperates and does what they have to do,
Yeah.
yeah, the timeline could be shorter.
Right.
But if you don't really take it, all right, yeah, I'm fine, I can walk outside, but you really have to kind of take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I was like discussing it with a lot of friends and actually even my family. It was like, you just have to act like you actually even have it and just like stay indoors and just
Yeah.
wait it out. Go for the essentials. You have to go to the market, you have to do your
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But just really limit your time outside, even if it's just for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your
sad
dad.
as it is.
Yeah, your dad's older, but he lives on Long Island, right?
Yeah. My dad's older. He's on Long Island.
So are there
I mean, he's
cases
in a
out?
house.
Are there cases out there?
Yeah, there is. Well,
Oh.
this is the funny part. Like a lot of people in New York City, I mean, I guess you can call them the high society. They're those who have like the big homes in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Left like a week ago,
Oh.
and it actually kind of stirred up some kind of like problems because once they went out to the Hamptons and they went to their homes, they actually brought it with them. Like the
Come
things
on.
are,
Oh shit! I
yeah.
didn't
So
think
it's like
about that. Yeah, I know a lot of the rich like New Yorkers. They'll take a helicopter right off of Manhattan, right?
yeah. But
Wow.
but it's also like you don't know when you've been exposed or how it works, and obviously we've been watching all the videos.
Yeah,
You've been understanding like it can kind of stay on certain surfaces for many
I
hours
know.
or
This
certain days. So it's kind of scary. Like
the
you don't know
surface
how it.
is just fucking
Yeah,
crazy. Drives me
yeah. It's
nuts.
just it.
I feel like a loser now when I'm quarantined. I was watching TV. I'm watching daytime TV like a loser. You know.
Oh, actually, what are you watching?
I
Because I might
watch.
need.
I mean, I don't have like you have a. You're employed during the day still. You can work. You're working virtually from home, but
Correct. Yeah.
So I was watching Maury. I was watching Maury today, and I was just about to find out who the father of the baby was, and the fucking governor, the governor got on TV and interrupted it right when I was about to find out who the father was. Pissed me off. And then he said the same shit. Stay inside, you know what I mean? And we get it. And, they have to be clear and repeat the message a gabillion times,
Yeah. Well, I remember I sent you that video yesterday, the last one. How it was like that personal testament of someone who was in China for a certain time, but he wasn't in Wuhan. He was like almost 1,000 kilometers away. Did you watch that video?
No, fuck. I didn't
Okay.
prepare.
All right. So what? Because the thing is, like China, whatever happened, they're fine, but they did lock it down.
Yeah.
So there were cities that were like 100 miles away
Mm-hmm.
that were actually, whenever they're working in service or at a cafe or something, they were always wearing gloves and masks. And I'm not sure if that it delayed it or what happened.
Yeah.
But in a couple of months, it's all been quarantined,
Yeah.
and people in cities 100 miles away were all quarantined and all kind of cooperating.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
know.
there has to be that kind of cooperation right now.
Yeah, totally.
Otherwise, there is the end date could be a little bit longer than we want.
Yeah,
That's the
for
scary
sure,
part.
for sure. So, do you have a quarantine buddy? Maybe a female friend or?
Oh, actually, that's a very good question, my friend. No, I haven't discovered.
I
the
haven't talked to you
quarantine.
for a long time.
It's good to see you, though.
I
It's good
know.
to see you.
You're looking good.
Yeah.
You shaved for the interview and everything, huh? You shaved.
No. Actually, this is kind of like my routine. Like I do shave even at work. I used to when I used to commute to work, I wouldn't shave every day, but like some days that I would shave, and obviously today was Friday, and typically I'd be going out or
Right.
just I just wanted
You'd
to be
be
clean
hitting the
cut.
town. You're a social guy. You'd be hitting the town,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly,
You'd be talking to,
exactly.
chatting up some ladies, right?
Well, I'd be chatting up some ladies. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be chatting back, but someone's going to be chatting. Yeah, but the point is, like, I was just like
Wait,
trying to
so
be
were you,
clean.
weren't you, when was your last relationship? Was it recent?
Yeah, yeah. This one was like probably 2 months ago now. Yeah, that's
Oh,
2 months ago. Yeah.
damn, right before the lockdown. That sucks. You
Well,
spent all
yeah,
winter. You spent all winter with her.
yeah. I spent all winter
Oh,
with her.
wow,
Yeah,
winter
correct. Yeah,
girlfriend.
and obviously, yeah, it didn't work out for many reasons, but that's fine.
Why? You're such a
But the
charming, funny guy. What was her problem?
well, her problem could, well, yeah, what is it? I mean, I guess we all have problems, but yeah, I think
Well,
it wasn't even her problem. I think it was just, I mean, the dating scene here. That's like, you probably need a second podcast for this conversation.
well, I
But
want to talk about a little
the
about this because it's more fun. I don't want to talk about the fucking virus. You know what I mean? The whole time.
but I do want to spread out this word. I know you're not affected. I don't know how many cases are there. You already told me this a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you go out there, and this is my little plea, just before we
Oh,
can kind of continue the fun conversation, is like, just definitely protect yourself. Go out there, and just the only way to
yeah.
kind of
We
get through
know
this
that.
is really, really to participate, like you actually have it,
Yeah, I know.
and just say,
Chicago's doing a
yeah.
good job. Don't worry about Chicago. You worry about New York, dude. All right?
Oh no, no, New York is done. New York is done. We just have to play it through,
Listen, you guys are
and we have,
spiking right now. You got to see where it spikes up, and then you're going to level off. It's just a question of numbers right now, and a question of locking it down. And then when you peak and it starts to come down, then they'll start, slowly opening up some things. But let's get back to the
yeah.
relationship thing.
Oh,
So
okay, all right. So the topics are
you're
thick, yeah,
you're
tonight,
you're
yeah,
you're you're in your early 40s, like some of us
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and it's it gets a little trickier when you get older to meet somebody. How did you meet this girl?
Oh, so well, of course. The only way you meet someone in your early 40s is either a setup through friends,
Right?
or you go on like an app, like a dating app. Like
Oh, I
it
hate the
really.
dating apps. I hate them so much. I
Well, the
hate
thing
them.
is, the dating app, it's too much. I mean, we kind of missed that generation, but like I don't know, at least 5, 6, maybe 8 years. But
Yeah.
there's the dating app is like really kind of I don't know how you say it. It's kind of like almost too much work to do because like you're really panicking, like responding,
I don't get it.
saying like no, it's a
No,
lot of
there's a
work,
whole
but
rule. There's a ton of rules to it. And if you say, if you reply, my buddy is like an expert at this stuff. And he's like an expert texter. And he tells me what to do. And he's like, if you text too fast, it's not good because then it shows you're desperate. You know what I mean? So you got to let it go a little bit, not text too fast. And then you got to text them a little bit and kind of, warm up because women are like really scared sometimes. Like they're
well,
scared to open up. They don't know you. They don't know you from, when you meet online, it's so cold. Like there's no introduction. Like you said, you're not meeting in person. And I hate Bumble. I hate these online apps so much.
yeah.
I really
Well,
do.
you know why you do. You know why you do
They,
hate Bumble
why?
because you never hid behind like there's a certain generation or a certain type of people that are comfortable in that. All right, I can think about my response. You're more of a spontaneous guy. Like obviously we've hung out. I've known you
Yeah.
for many many years.
Yeah.
Like you're not afraid to talk. You're comfortable in your skin.
Yeah.
But when you're behind like a phone or some or whatever it is that you're like kind of texting back and forth, there's a slight like separation of it. It's almost like you can't really feel it. Like it's a
Yeah.
different kind. Like you're not like all right. Oh, I can feel like you can look at her, maybe you can smell her in person. Like you kind of like feel
Oh
like a
my
different
God,
vibe.
it's the worst.
Yeah,
I think it's such a cop out. I really do.
yeah.
I think it's such a cop out. If you want to meet somebody, meet them in person or approach somebody in person. You know what I mean? Like
I know. But this is the
it's
new revolution. Like
it's so
nobody
weird.
does what
And people just
happened.
drop you. You're talking to them, and then you're like, "Do you want to meet?" And they just drop you. They just stop talking, and it happens both ways. But I wouldn't lead someone on like that for a long time. I would meet up. Because I don't care. What's the big deal? We meet up, we have a few drinks, and then we don't like each other or we do like each other. Like, I don't like, it just seems like a lot of work. Like you said, you got to text and, and then how much are you gonna text before you meet? Let's just meet up. What's the big deal? If we like how each other looks, let's meet up and talk and see. Like, I don't know.
What I was trying to say, yeah, to that, it's very manic. So
Yeah,
you're out there and you're looking at like a catalog of people. It's
yeah,
just like it's a different kind of vibe that I've ever experienced. It's not like
yeah. I know.
it's not like
So
it's not
why
very
didn't it
organic.
why didn't it work out? How far did you guys get? Did you guys meet each other's parents or anything?
Well, this is how far we got. Yeah, it's just like, well, at a certain time, like you have to look at like different like stages of like relationships
Yeah.
or
First you get
of
together, you
women when they're
meet.
yeah.
There's
Yes,
many stages. You meet, you have the first kiss, then you have the first sex, then you have the right, then you get a little more comfortable, right? There's like stages.
correct. In that sense, yes. But the other sense is this: it's like there's stages of when you're meeting someone, like in their 30s or 40s or whatever you are, or even in their 20s, doesn't matter. There's always like some kind of baggage or like something that's kind of like a more of a like not a break, but like a weight on someone. Where it's like, all right, I got to compare this person. This is what I wanted before, and this is what I want in the future. Like there
Oh,
is
a
an
past.
illusion of like a past of like I want this in my life. Like this is my new. All right, I'm gonna take this last relationship. It didn't work out for this and this reason, but this is what I want in the future, and it's not really reality. It's like no one's like open to it because it's not at the same time. It's very set up. It's
W-
very pragmatic, and it's more like an interview. It's like when you get a job. Like how many interviews you do this year?
Right, right.
Well, this year nothing, but like typically you do like a lot of interviews each year.
Yeah.
Like people
So what are you
gauge your
saying? That's how it
experience.
is in the beginning? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's more of like an interview
Okay, but then
process. It's
how
not very
okay,
organic.
let's fast forward though. How far did you guys get?
Oh yeah. So after that interview, I mean, yeah, we hit it off. It was a
Yeah.
great time for the first couple months. It was incredible.
Oh,
It was
that's
great.
good.
Yeah, oh
That's
yeah,
great.
no, it was good. Like, all right, we were all like, oh, this is fun. We were enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
We were having like, she liked the whole thing because I'm Greek descendant. She liked that whole thing. She was like, oh yeah, I've been there. Like,
Oh,
and there was
okay.
all these relatable experiences and stuff. So it
Uh-huh.
kind of continued on. So it's like,
Okay. So how
you
many
had your
months?
so with her, it was like probably I met her in I guess like early October,
Oh, okay.
and then by like yeah by like I would say probably November or late November, she was like already wanted to do like some introductions to her family.
Ooh,
So it was kind of like
ooh.
not yeah. So it was like a little bit of like all right. So this kind of continue on and not everyone's at this stage where you
How
have to
about
like fast
December? How
forward
about
it.
December and New Year's Eve together, right? I mean, like
Yeah. Oh,
Christmas,
yeah. Well, December and
presents,
New Year's.
presents.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
you have to
course.
give
Yeah.
some presents. Yeah. You have to. Yeah, there's got to be
No,
some kind of. Yeah,
you're not
mutual
gonna be an
exchange. That.
animal.
Yeah. I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so you
Not.
made it through.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
a
but that, oh,
generous.
well, that's hard though. When you're 2 months in a relationship, you know what I mean. And the presents start come. It's a little strange. But then you got to past New Year's Eve, and you just broke up maybe in like in January or something, huh?
No. This one was like in early like February. We
Oh,
broke up. Yeah, so it didn't quite work out,
oh,
and it
okay.
was like there was like a many reasons why it didn't
Yeah,
work
yeah,
out,
yeah. You don't want to
but
speak badly about her. I know you don't want to speak badly about her.
no. I could speak completely open. I mean, if it helps someone else, it's fine. But it's like you kind of
It's
go
just fun
out
to talk
there.
about. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's you know what? I think it's just weird nowadays. I just think it's weird because everyone's texting everybody. It's all about texting, the introduction. I mean, I've called some girls before. Granted, they were a little younger, and they were like
Yeah.
like anyone under 30. If you call them and you don't know them that well, they freak out. You cannot call them on the phone at
Yeah.
all.
There's no reason to call anymore. There's
Yeah,
no reason. Yeah,
yeah.
there's no reason.
So if they're older, it's better to call. It's okay to call. You know what I mean? I even had one
No, not really.
some
No, that's not
really.
true. No. I mean, to call when you're older, it's fine. I mean, once in a while, but typically it's all text now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably 95% text. The only reason why
Jesus.
you call, maybe you want to FaceTime or something. Yeah, that's fine.
I
But
don't like
I
that.
mean, but with this last girl, it was like I mean, it was kind of interesting because she was like closer to my age.
Yeah.
you know. And at this point, you know, it depends where you are in life. At this point, I was like, all right, let me kind of like settle down. Let me
Yeah.
just take it kind of easy. Let's just see how it all goes. I'm
Yeah.
going to be a little bit open. I'm going to compromise a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you very well. I mean, we know how we work. We enjoy the social life. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
has its
sure.
like, yeah, but it's like, all right, so
Yeah,
it
so you
kind
were
of fit the
considering it.
mold.
You guys
Yeah.
spent some time and you were considering settling down and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I've had difficulties with I don't sometimes I find it hard to figure out what they want, or I think a lot of young girls, especially because of what they see on Instagram, they all want that kind of lifestyle, the fabulous life, the Kim Kardashian
Oh,
life.
yes, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, of
mean, for
course.
sure.
I mean, of course, social media, that
Yeah.
huge illusion. I mean, but and this is like for anybody, when you're like looking for anyone or some kind of companion. I mean, if you're going to like that benchmark of like a social media, or like, all right, I'm gonna be at this point in my life where I'm gonna like compare my life to someone on social media. I mean, obviously, we all know there's an exaggeration. Everyone looks
Yeah.
better on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the best moments in their life. I mean, even if you look at Facebook, like everyone puts the happiest pictures.
Yeah.
The point is, if someone really puts that much attention on it, obviously, I mean, they're not going to be open to something that's going to be there. I mean, we're all stuck here. We're single for a reason. I mean, we were looking for something else, or we weren't looking for anything. For whatever reason,
Right.
we're at this point in our life where, all right, we're single.
Yeah.
We've had our, and then now I think I want to get to the next stage of, all right, I want to be with somebody,
Yeah.
you know, compromise, grow with someone else, grow my life instead of like retracting my life, that kind of scenario.
Constantly
So it's,
compromise, constantly.
yeah. But yeah, I know. Well, it could be a slight compromise. I mean, no one's
Right.
going to have the exact fit that
No,
you
you
kind
do.
of,
Yeah, no, you do have to compromise. My buddy told me
but
that. My buddy just got married, this one guy, and he's like, man, he's like, he just got married. I'm always asking people what it's like because I've never been married. And so I'm always trying to find out. Of course, there's no better way than to actually just jump in and do it. But I'm always asking questions like, what's it like? And my buddy's like, man, it's like constant compromising. Constant. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
No, I
we're
know
not used
exactly
to
what you
that.
mean.
We're not used to that.
Well, that stage, I mean, you have to meet someone, then you get to that point. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean, it's a little bit trickier when you get a little bit older, I think.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there is going to be a history, a lot
Yeah.
more of a history with everybody. Everyone's going to be dealing with something. So there's like a little more of like, kind of like a heaviness, or more of a gravity of understanding, like, all right, this is where we are in life, you know, well, this is what I'm looking for. And the idea of understanding what you're looking for is a fantasy. I mean, no one knows. No one picks their partner and be like, this is what I decided to have. No, it's kind of like something like open. You've been at a moment in your life, like, all right, I'm going to be accepting of this moment,
Uh-huh.
enjoy it. And then it kind of like organically works on its own. You know what I mean? It's not something that you work on. It's just like, oh yeah, she's into it, I'm into it. It organically works on their own. You have these special moments and it kind of continues. But when you go in there
That
with
would be
this kind of
great.
like graph paper, yeah, when you go in there with this graph paper and a checkbox, it kind of gets a little frightening. It's like, it's not necessary.
Right.
It's a little absurd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like what I've been told a lot. It's like, just go out there, enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
and just be open to anything. It's like,
Yeah.
stop thinking about like, all right, the
Stop putting
forwardness.
preconceptions. Yes. Stop putting preconceptions and just
Yeah,
do
just
it.
be open.
And
Yeah, just be doing-
more like when you were young, when you wouldn't think about all that heavy stuff right away, like kids and like
Oh yeah, we had no
future.
expectations.
Right.
Yeah, you had no expectations. You went out there, you had fun, you drank, you had a good time. There was no expectation. You could have fun with her. Of course, you're gonna say some like, you know, stupid shit to your friend.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think she's gonna call me or not. But you really internally didn't really care.
Right.
But as you get older, you're like, oh crap, man. Like it's getting a little more tough. You know, like.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. Nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's you're constantly meeting all these people, and nothing's like coming to fruition. Like,
I heard New York. I heard New York is like the hardest place to have a relationship. I heard people just hook up constantly.
Yes, yeah. Well, of course, and it's also like this idea of, and this is what was discussed even with my ex-girlfriend. It was like everyone's like looking for like the next. It's like more of a springboard to like the next opportunity. It's like, oh yeah, like I'm just here, looking for the next best thing. Like you're here for momentarily moments or for a short while, and then we're gonna figure out, okay, this is gonna be more fun. Let's do this next, and then something else comes along, and you keep your options open. It's never a
Wow.
dedication to
Really?
what happened, because when you were younger, you
Yeah.
didn't give a crap. Like, all right, if someone
Right.
comes along in the picture, fine. But you're like, all right, let me text this girl. Like, all right, I had a good time with her. And you kind of continue on. But
Yeah.
lately, like now, or maybe just this is like the era of how things are, it's like everyone's on this app where they can meet hundreds of people. I mean,
I
nothing's going to come of
know.
it.
Yeah.
And then people going to be satisfied with a text. People going to be satisfied with one meet.
Well,
People just want to like
women.
grow their ego a little bit.
Listen, when a girl is cute, especially, she's getting approached constantly on social media.
Yeah,
Constantly.
yeah, but then
Constantly.
that's
Like
the
hundreds
disregard.
and hundreds of people, like constantly.
Yeah,
It's insane. And they know
yeah,
that. And they know the more they put themselves out there as being cute and in shape. The new thing is fitness, of course. You know what I mean? They want to look good. The
yeah,
women want to look good for fitness. And yeah, it's a whole new world, man. Everyone, and there's just a lot going on. A lot going on.
yeah. But I mean, the frustration lies in like the unknown. You kind of just have to like let it be
Yeah, yeah.
and let it manifest on its own.
Oh,
And I
that should
mean,
be a
I've had the
song. That should be a
yeah, just
song. Let
man,
it be.
let it be. Yeah, it has been. Just let it manifest on its own. Yeah, just let's see what happens.
Yeah, gotcha. I think so. So, what are you gonna do the whole weekend, man? Now that you're
Uh,
quarantined. By the way, I learned an interesting fact, and I just like to share it with you. Do you know where quarantine comes from?
no, no, I don't know where the word comes from.
Well, quarantine. The beginning of the word it comes from the Latin quattro, which means four.
Okay.
And it's 40 days. It came from 40 days because hundreds of years ago during the plague, they would say, stay in your house for 40 days. So we're essentially doing like the same thing people were doing for the plague. Isn't that crazy? They,
Oh, that is kind of crazy.
yeah,
That's an
they said,
interesting fact.
yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
yeah, I learned it from Bill Gates. I watched like an hour interview with Bill Gates yesterday.
Oh, which one? The
He just did one a couple days ago with this guy, and he did it remotely, just like me and you were doing. And he did it. It was just an hour asking him questions. And he's an expert. He's an expert in infectious disease, and he's just so smart.
yeah,
He understands this better than anybody. And he had a video, a TED talk in 2015 when he predicted
yeah, I
all
saw
of
that.
this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know it's crazy. He actually even predicted what the bailout would be. He even like
yeah,
posted it's going to be like $3 trillion,
yeah.
and it's already at 2.5 right now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
it's easily gonna go to $3 to $4 trillion. Easily.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
mean, no
know.
restaurants, no servers, no. Oh, I was gonna ask you a little bit about your job. You work for like a finance company, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm on fintech.
Okay.
So what that is like when you go online, and I don't know if you have like an online brokerage account
Yeah.
or you do any trading online.
Not really. It's too
All right, but
speculative for me.
if there's certain ones you can go to where it's all what they consider like robotics. So like you can call in and there's like a robot that kind of answers your questions.
Yeah.
But we have like more of like a traditional where you can kind of call in like a service. So
Yeah.
I
So,
kind of help out people with a certain sector of the market,
gotcha.
which is like bond related.
Okay.
So
I don't know anything
and
about that. I don't
so
know.
everything works from home. Like you can do everything.
Well, what do your
Everything.
customers say? Are they freaking out? I mean, this has been
Oh yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. It's like every day there's another customer saying like I can't believe because what's happening in the market right now, which is kind of like very very interesting. There's like certain products you can buy where the buy and sell is like completely off cue where it was.
Hmm.
So typically, if you buy Facebook,
Yeah.
it'll be off like maybe like a couple of cents or a couple of dollars or whatever it is. Now, like the spreads of a buy and a sell is like 10 or $15. So it's huge, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And they kind of like
What do you
blaming
mean
you,
by
like,
the
"Oh,
time? What do you mean by the time the order gets fulfilled? The
No,
change?
not even
What
that.
what are
Not
you
even that.
saying? I don't understand. I don't understand the spread.
So when you go and buy a certain
Stock.
equity, like say you wanted to buy Facebook right
Yeah.
now, right?
And you want to
There's
buy
going
it
to
at
be a
one,
price. Yeah, if you want to buy Facebook, there's a price.
right?
If you own Facebook and you wanted to sell it, there's a different price. So there's what you call a spread. It's not going to be the
Oh.
same price to do both. It never is. I mean, it'll be slightly or fractional.
Oh.
Maybe you don't see it. It never is the same price.
Oh,
There's
gotcha.
certain products right now where they're so distant right now, and people are saying, "Oh, are you like robbing me of this money? Like, what's going on here?"
Oh, the
Like
spreads are
you're
bigger.
a lot bigger,
Does that
a
mean you
lot
can make
bigger.
bigger profits?
No, no. It means like if you bought something, it's harder to get out. So
Oh.
what the government is doing, like part of this like bailout plan, is really pumping money into the market. So
Wow.
there is liquidity. And
Right.
liquidity means if you hold something, typically like a bond or something, you're not able to find someone to buy it off you or to sell it or to buy back.
Right.
So they pump money as liquidity into the
Right.
market to kind of help it
But who does that go to?
move. Well, they typically, like when the Fed does that, they buy like certain liquidity from the banks directly, and then like, all right, go out here and sell it. So like people have more. It's really just pumping more product in the market. Like, all right, the Fed owns this, pump it out and say, all right, it's pretty much just having more volume. When you go to Amazon.com, they
Yeah.
run out of stuff, then you go to another buyer.
Right.
Now, now the government's a bigger buyer, and you can like not buy it from
Oh, they
them,
kind of
but they
guarantee it.
create more volume
Okay.
to purchase. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I'm very, I don't know that much about the market. I just watch the whole market as a whole, and I watch the big changes and stuff like that. And, I watch the companies, and I
Well,
knew something was coming. I'm not gonna say I called the crash by any means, but my friends were all bragging in February or January, February, and I said, guys, there could be a catastrophic event. You never know where it's gonna come from. And they were like, no, the banks are fine. The banks, the banks have tons of money. It's not, I said, yeah, it might not be that same crisis, but crises happen, right? On a
yeah,
regular
yeah.
basis.
Yeah, typically it's like 10 years.
Right.
We had the crisis in '08.
Yeah.
That's the mortgage crisis.
And think about
now we're
this.
at
SARS
2020.
SARS was in '09.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So,
that didn't hit the market because it was already kind
yeah.
of delved into the mortgage
Right.
industry. But now they have, this is like a bigger crisis where people like, oh, wow, where are things going to go? Because businesses aren't going to make any more money right now.
Right.
People are going to be losing their jobs.
You have to be online right now. If you have a business and you have to be online, right? I mean, that's the only thing where
Well,
things are
the
going on.
mobility is completely clear. Yeah, you have to have, if some, now it's going to be like a new, as they say, if you work for like a big company, especially for banks, which I have, there has to be like a business continuity. So in the case there is a crisis like Hurricane Sandy,
Yeah.
can you work from home?
Right.
Or can you get to the office? But in this kind of crisis, you can't go to the office because you have that 6 feet of separation, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a whole different thing. So now they're simulating, now everyone has to work from home or have the ability to do it.
Right.
So it's just going to change the whole environment right now.
Do you have
So
job security?
for now, yeah, definitely,
That's good. That's
definitely
good,
now.
man.
Yeah, for now.
Because
Yeah, for now it's okay.
a lot of
It's
poor,
okay.
a lot of poorer people are going to be really hurt. The people that live check to check, who work in a lot of these poor jobs, Uber drivers, restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's a sad thing
Yeah.
because they're not able to kind of like sustain their life if they don't
Yeah.
have a paycheck every week, and it's scary. Then they get what? They're gonna get unemployment, and in New York it's very very small. I mean now they're gonna have more of like a subsidiary, like a subsidized $600, like an extra money per month. I don't know how much that will last, but
Oh,
I
in
mean
New
rents
York?
are expensive here.
Rents
Yeah,
are rents
for
rents
oh no
are
no yeah
expensive.
for New York.
Oh,
It's gonna
another
be like
thing
another.
I wanted to talk to you really quick about was you said you're in a rent controlled building, right? Your building has about 15 units in it.
Yeah. So rent controlled is like
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah, I
So
know.
back in
We don't have that in Chicago yet.
no, because it's a newer city.
Right.
What happened here was like areas like the East Village. Like if you went to the East Village in the early '90s or the late '80s, it wasn't like the best place to be, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So what they would do is like not to attract people or to have people to stay there to develop a community, they would have like a rent stabilization. So workers can come there. It's almost like tenement
Uh huh.
housing. Workers can come there,
Yeah.
work from there and commute easily, and then their rent would not go up so they can actually sustain their lifestyle. You know,
Oh.
and this is why it kind of developed all these, like that's why Brooklyn exploded, like those areas, and the East Village especially, and many parts of and Manhattan too, have
Oh.
developed. So they develop these areas so people can come in there and be like, it's an incentive to live here because your rent's going to be stable for life. You don't have to buy a house. You know, you could be a worker,
Oh. Right.
commute to the city, come home, and be,
But then it
be well.
changed. But that changed over the years, right?
Well, no, no, no.
Because
It
people
doesn't
started
change per
wanting
se.
because people started wanting to live in Manhattan, not, and then the rents skyrocketed, and then the landlords couldn't raise those rents, right? A certain percentage or something.
Yeah, but there's ways around it. You can like buy the building and knock it down, or buy people out. Like there was,
Oh, oh,
I have
okay.
like two friends of mine who lived in the West Village. They were, rent stabilized, and they bought them out. They gave them like, big paychecks to move out,
How much?
and
Like
they
a
would turn
hundred
them into
grand,
condo.
200
Yeah,
grand.
oh yeah. Some of them were like 50 or 100 grand to leave the apartment, and
Wow,
then they would condemn the building and then like build like condos. So like they're $1 million apartments now, and then people live
wow.
there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
know. If the money's there, they're gonna buy you out, right? If the money's there in the land, and
Ye-
even your building, if it's 15 units, it depends on, right? If you're building
Well,
that,
yeah, yeah. This one, like, I'm lucky because it's a privately owned. But
I
if it
know,
was
but
like a
I'm
management
saying,
company,
I know, but I'm saying, as a private owner, if the land that he's taking up, okay, if they could put a tower on there, right?
oh yeah, yeah, it
I
would be
mean, they're
unbelievable.
gonna,
Yes.
yeah, they'll buy them out. I mean, if they're gonna put, you
Yeah.
know, 50 units instead of the 15, right? That have that are there now, they're gonna buy them out, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, that's here too in Chicago, but it's not as. Uh, I mean, you see
Oh,
that
prevalent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as prevalent because the land is not as valuable as, let's say, Manhattan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but here. Oh yeah, you hear that? It's more sirens right now.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Wow.
hear that? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's like every 20 minutes, like
Come on.
probably every couple hours. Yeah. There's like ambulance running back and forth.
Holy
Because
shit.
a lot of the hospitals are like at capacity, which you probably already read about.
Yeah.
But yeah, but as far as the tenement buildings here, like there's yeah, they that was just more to keep people in New York City, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, this building was built probably I think in the early 20s.
Yeah.
No, 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 actually maybe in the teens. I don't think it was built in the 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, in the teens it's been here.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my apartment's like a little bit bigger than like, a normal
Yeah.
like a bigger building. And then what they would do here, it's like, like, I mean, the city was just it was completely different. Like even 50, 60 years ago,
Yeah. I
it
know.
was like not a good area.
No,
So
Chicago
people
was
were
the
like,
same way. Chicago was horrible, man. My dad said when
yeah,
he came here in the 70s, he said it was nasty. He's like, Chicago was nasty and dirty. He's like, the hottest areas in Chicago, like Lincoln Park now, where there's one condos are going for 900 to a million, or even over a million a lot of times.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he said it was just ugly. And now not
yeah.
everybody wants to live in the city now. Everybody.
Well, the thing is now, I remember like when you're, and I don't know if you've been to the East Village, but it's numbered streets, and there's like streets.
Yeah.
So you're like on First Avenue, then you're at, Avenue A, Avenue B, and Avenue C, right?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't go past Avenue A ever, but now through Avenue B and Avenue C, it's like it's just all become
Wait, why? Why
extremely
why wouldn't
expensive.
you go past Avenue
Oh,
A?
it was, oh yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit older, but I used to come here in the early '90s,
Right.
and you go to like fun parties to go to. You take the train in from Long Island,
Yeah.
you have a good time,
Yeah.
and then you go to Avenue B, and what you would do, especially, was like, all right, you park the car,
Uh-huh.
or you take the train in and you just run into the bar and then run out. Like you don't just chill out
Come on.
around the name.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
it was that dangerous?
yeah, like St. Mark's Place as an example. I remember being there. I think I started my career like in the early 2000s. I remember going down like St. Mark's. people like smoking all over the place, smoking weed before it was legal. People like on like staircases, like
Yeah,
just like the
hanging
typical New
out.
York thing. Oh yeah, just hanging out, just doing
Yeah,
their own thing. Some of them were doing like crazy drugs and just like you
dealing.
wouldn't want to go down that street. Now it's like all luxury. Like there's
Wow.
just no space for it. You know, it's
Right.
just that. I mean, this is
So
the
where did all
evolution of
those
the.
people go? Those people that
Well, I don't know if they went anywhere. I
I mean,
think
did they?
over time you kind of they were all transient, so they would be here for a couple of years and leave. You know,
Yeah,
like this
or
would
they
be
get pushed
this
out
used
to
to
the
be like
boroughs, right? If the property values get
or other
higher.
cities or
Yeah.
other cities.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
think probably because I mean like you have like in the early '80s or like the like different artists and stuff like you have like the Ramones or Basquiat or something like those guys were hanging out here
Yeah. Yeah.
and pretty much living in crazy filth, and it was like a different kind of like environment back
Right.
then.
Right.
It was kind of so it's kind of like that
But is
kind
it
of
all
edge
rich?
has
It's
been
is it
lost in
all
New York.
there is all the edge gone in New York in Manhattan? Like is everything
Yeah, I
high
would say
scale?
a lot of it is gone. Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
The only thing you have here is like the old New York City charm. Like I'm in a building that's over 100 years old. That's kind of that's nice. Or you go to like a pastry shop down the street that's
Yeah.
been there for like over. I think that one. I think that was there since like 1918 or something. Or you can go to like a diner. Of course, you're a Greek guy.
Yeah.
You go to a diner. There's one there like in the 20s that was there, like with the old like stools and stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know,
They've
like that.
been
That's the charm left.
yeah. They've been diners are kind of dying out in Chicago. They're not dying out. They're kind of redoing them. They're making them more modern. They're
Yeah.
the old school diners are kind of gone. They really made them modern, and they started charging a lot more for eggs and hash browns.
Well, do you remember those things? Those little like the music, the dials that you would have, and you would pick the song. It would be like a little flap of like music,
Yeah, a little
and you
jukebox thing, a little jukebox.
yeah, the little jukebox at every table.
Yeah.
Like they still have it at this one diner nearby here,
Oh
which is kind of
wow.
cool. Yeah, and it's been, of course, it's Greek owned too, and it's been it's like 3 generations of Greek families
Yeah,
in this place.
that's cool.
So, but
So there's
but
a lot of
it is.
charm in the city. Well, I hope
Well,
those
that
people.
that
I hope those people can make it through this. You know what I mean? I think they'll get assistance, hopefully, in some sort of
well,
way.
well, that's the message we're getting.
Yeah,
I mean, Cuomo has been like pretty interesting in this whole.
man, Cuomo's
I mean,
been
he's been
killing
great.
it.
Like he's been very strong, and he kind of made it very clear, like we're in an epidemic, or there's a pandemic. Sorry,
Yeah,
and then we have to really take down, and like within like a couple days, they locked down the whole city.
yeah.
And I think the
No,
whole
he's
like
been really good, man. And the things he's been
yeah,
saying, and how clear he's been. I think he's been a
yeah.
really good leader in this.
Well,
And
plus he's like a New Yorker. He kind of
yeah,
understands what's going on. He understands like people want to go to the parks. I mean, New York City's a communal place, man.
yeah,
That's what makes it like so nice. You go outside, you go to the park, you have a conversation with someone, like you do that. Like
yeah,
that would happen all the time. Like this is what makes it kind of like a cool place to be, right?
yeah,
But obviously with the quarantine is extreme. But that's what it lacks right now. This is the struggle I got to go to. That's
yeah.
why I'm down to this. Yeah, I'm down to like video recordings with you. I can't touch you. I can't infect you. You can't infect me.
Man,
We're safe right now through the
we're so
computer.
safe. Yep. Thanks to technology. I think it's what else is funny is like now that I watch everybody's working from home and you get to see their homes. you know?
Oh, you want to see my home? Is that what you're
No,
asking?
no, I'm just saying it's funny.
Oh, okay.
Like even I don't know, everyone's working from home. You get to see where they're living and stuff. It's kind of voyeuristic,
Yeah.
I guess, in a sense.
Well,
But
it could be voyeuristic, but I think it's kind of interesting because now, I got to give you like a positive spin on it. I mean, obviously, I've been in this apartment. I only go out maybe a half hour
yeah,
at most when I leave, and this has been at least 2 or 3 weeks now.
yeah,
I've been very, very careful.
yeah,
But I've been having all these video calls with people
yeah,
and having all these conversations. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're there, but like it's really like people. There is like a human connection that's kind of like good, that's what I kind of like about it.
yeah,
Like there is the human spirit is always still alive. Like people can call you, laugh,
yeah,
have some fun. You call old friends you never talk to. It's kind of like
yeah.
you kind of see like who's out there for you. I think it's kind of beautiful in its own little way.
Damn, man, you just
Yeah,
got poetic. You got
but you
really
have to
poetic
look.
there.
Yeah, but it's like you have to see like a plus of anything, you know?
Yeah, no,
Like
listen,
it's yeah, you
a lot
have
of
to.
people have
Yeah.
done good things, and yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
and I don't know if you heard this, but the Gap is kind of like shut like some of their factories. They're like creating masks instead of
Yeah,
like shirts and stuff.
here too.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like it's kind of cool. Like people are like stepping up to do it, and like it really shows. Like I was here for like 9/11 and what was going on there,
Okay.
and people were it's interesting. It's very interesting how people can kind of react to these things. Everyone's bummed
Absolutely.
out. It sucks, but
Yeah.
it has its own little beautiful kind of like experience in
Yeah.
between,
I went to the
you know?
grocery store the other day, and some people were not practicing. They were not conscious of how they were walking around other
I know.
people. They were
No, and the
not.
scary,
They were just ignoring it. And I was, I didn't want to get too close to other people. I wanted to give them space. You know what I mean? And it was just a little weird. It wasn't being followed that strict. You know what I mean? People were still getting together, looking at stuff
yeah.
on the in the aisles and stuff. I said, let that person look. I'm thinking to myself, let that person look and then let them walk away and then go and look. You don't have to go up right next to them and start looking at the bread. You know what I mean? The bread will be
Yeah.
there in 2 seconds. Let them
Yeah.
move on their way.
No,
So
and that's a good. But I've been there, and I'm in the epicenter of this whole corona, and then
yeah,
people are just sitting there, no gloves, no masks, just touching. Like
yeah,
it's frightening. Like a lot
yeah,
of people are still in denial. That's what
yeah.
makes it scary. You know,
Got you. Do you think I have an accent?
a little bit.
I think you
Like
got
you're.
an accent.
Oh, of course I got.
I love the New York accent though. But I talked to your sister. I talked to your sister once on the phone, and she's like, "Man, I forgot you have such a strong Chicago accent." I'm like, "Really?" Of course, I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah,
But
you have the accent like you could be like a newscaster. Like for on the East Coast, the West Coast, like it's a very neutral accent. Yeah,
oh
like
wow,
that's
thank
yeah,
you.
like
That's a
yeah.
nice compliment.
Me, I mean, everyone knows wherever.
You're a
I mean,
fucking
plus
New
I've
Yorker, man. You're a New
I know,
Yorker to your
I know it's
bones.
horrible. I mean, I can't get rid of it. It's like I have this I've been congested since I was like 6. I don't know what's going on, but it's what can you do? But
Right.
it's like you have this. Yeah, I have a strong accent.
Yeah.
Even when I travel and stuff. Like once I speak English and I kind of like let loose and I'm comfortable,
Yeah.
it comes out a little more thick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or when
But
you
I
get
can
drunk.
control it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I get buzzed. I don't get drunk anymore. I'm
All
a
right,
man
good,
now.
good, good.
I'm a gentleman. I'm a
Listen, man,
gentleman now.
I know you are. You are. Listen, I love you. It was good to see you. I love your family. I miss you guys. And
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know, man. Ever since I met you guys, since I was young, we've been friends for a long. We've known each other since we were early 20s, and I don't know
Oh
what it
yeah.
was, but
How
I
about
always
that
felt.
Chicago experience? I went to the Gibson with you.
Yeah, we went
The
to
Gibson?
Gibson's.
Is it still called the Gibson?
Gibson's.
Is this
Yeah, Gibson's.
is,
There's a
is it
couple
still
of them.
there?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a high end place.
Okay.
And I known you guys for so long, and we always felt really comfortable with each other. Isn't it weird when we call each other, we feel real comfortable, right? There's no like
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
uncomfortableness at all. But anyway, it was really good to talk to you. I'm gonna cut it, I think now. Okay.
All right, buddy. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
And if you want an update, you can call me back whenever you want. I'm home. Okay.
All right, I'll be
I'm
home
being
too. We're all gonna be home through April, dude. Just wait, you see. We're gonna be home. We're gonna be home.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
buddy. Good to see you.
Take all precautions, man. Don't forget. Okay,
All right.
buddy?
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. That was with my buddy John Mitsos. He's in New York City. That was a fun interview. Thanks for watching, and subscribe when you get a chance. All right. Bye.